I guess we have everything in order. Hey everyone, James Nussbaumer of jamesnussbaumer.com, and I'm the author of The Master of Everything, a story of mankind in the world of illusion we call life. I'm going to talk about this book a little bit and where it came from, but first of all, you're probably wondering why I have this stupid tie on with this sweatshirt. My mother, who is 81 years old, asked me, she says, "Jimmy, why don't you ever wear a tie in those videos you're making? You used to wear a tie all the time," she says. "You look so handsome wearing a tie." Well, she's thinking back to the old days when I spent 25 years as a financial advisor, where I did wear a suit and tie every day, 5 days a week, 9 to 5, sometimes 12-hour days, but the last 8 years I was in prison for a foolish securities violation, and really I chuckle at that, but I'm trying to keep a sense of humor. So I told my mom, I says, "Mom, really," I says, "I'm just comfortable. The real me needs to be now today in sweatshirt and blue jeans. And please," she says, "can you please just once wear a tie for me in making one of them videos?" So I said, "Sure, Mom," just like any son wants to please their mom. So here's my effort for pleasing my mother. In fact, there's little golf balls on this tie. So that's the most comfortable tie I could find that has golf balls on it. So anyways, we do have to have a sense of humor in time, and so maybe my mom is chuckling over this when she watches this video. But I want to talk today about the results of finding inner strength. Sometimes it takes a sense of humor, but if we don't share the universal will, and all we're going to do is imprison ourselves deeper into our own self-made uncertainty. What will I do? How will I survive? These were the haunting thoughts about my future at the time I was indicted and sentenced to prison for 10 long years over a foolish securities violation by a judge that said he used me as an example at a time when there was panic and abuse being experienced in the financial services industry. Of course, another judge came out of retirement and released me early, but I'd already served 8 years. I'm going to tell you, that was a long haul. But let me start and say where it began and what went on with me. On a cold and gray Ohio February 1st, the solid steel door, several inches thick, slammed behind me, and the lock loudly latched. In its nightmarish echo throughout the corridors, I could see the teeth of 10 years growling at me like the snarling dogs of sin. I remember sitting there in that stinking cell, moving quickly to the depths of my mind without realizing how deep I was going. The experience was definitely more than just what I'd been cautioned it might be. Many would say shock. I heard one guard telling another guard that I must be in shock when I wouldn't answer any of their questions. Something was directing me to go deep, where a feeling or sensation had welcomed me. I almost felt like a child again, and an inner voice got me thinking that there was nothing I could do from here inside these walls except for embracing the now. A Course in Miracles states, "There is no living thing that does not share the universal will that it be whole, and that you do not leave its call unheard." It was that feeling of being cradled and told to just be still and quiet and that everything would be okay. Isn't this what the universe promises us anyway? A return to reality guaranteed? Sure it does, yes. But all too often we don't trust it. And that's why I became aware that I had no choice but to accept the embrace and to trust it and to just be. I realized in the weeks and the months ahead, inside those black walls and behind those steel bars, while beginning to trust, that what had embraced me was my own true strength. It was like if my golf buddies were waving me on deep inside the mind to join them. And as I went deeper, something ineffable, meaning unexplainable, but I can add A bright brilliance was waiting to welcome me. The sensation was mysterious and encouraging, as though what was greeting me had been hidden away and obscured for all those years of my life, like I had it blocked. Physically, I was very weak, but this inner place, like stunning stars as far as I could see, was very pure, making me feel unstoppable. I realized it was the non-material but real universe, if you will, that had been obscured for so long in my life. It was my long-lost home, a non-material reflection that expressed my inner glory. Those prior insecure thoughts and worries during my business years of the struggles and the concerns of what to leave in and what to leave out, or over landing that big deal, and all those years I wore the tie every day and the suit, and so many others, were only the insane illusions I once lived by. Much of the world lives by a thought system that teaches us that our body should be regarded as our temple. This is true, however, it applies only to the surface of who we express ourselves to be, where gaining and winning seem to be also terribly important to us. But for the most part, honoring the body is only a minor step in answering that one question much of the world struggles with. That is, who really am I? The answer is something that is not unexplainable, but rather totally unambiguous to our real business and world leaders. Yes, I mean crystal clear to those who are truly successful in this world. These individuals are in charge of their fears. Yes, they have the fears, but they're in charge of those fears because they are aware that our temple is not a structure at all, such as a building or a body. Every temple has its altar, where holiness abides. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a temple, right? But rather than viewing our body as the temple, let's consider the structure of our temple as our true essence, or our being. Deep within that structure of life is where our altar sits. And it's at this altar where we see our life's purpose, our business at hand. This is what emanates the light. It's what makes us manifest our future. It's what makes us manifest what we want in life. This is what emanates the light, or is the true essence of who we are. This is your being, if you will. It's what lands that business deal, if you love the business that you're in. And it's what manifests your future, like I had just said. I wrote my first book, The Master of Everything, A Story of Mankind in the World of Illusion We Call Life, which is the pilot of a very exciting and ever-developing series that I've got going on. I wrote this book entirely by longhand, from behind prison bars, in an overcrowded, overbearing, and obnoxiously overloud prison environment where inmates live in one another's faces all day and all night long. I had no computer in prison. There is no computer there. The atmosphere is violent and volatile. Often I believe that this is what brought these words forward in my mind through pen and onto the paper that went off to my editor. I would sit there while I was writing, asking for patience as I waited on time to release me. The waiting was extremely difficult, but that ineffable that I talked about, that brilliance, the voice within me would say, "This is temporary, keep on going," and it told me to keep on writing. It said to just keep taking action. It was that brilliant thought, no longer obscured in my mind, that prevailed. That thought, that brilliance, is what set me free. Let me quickly add that I have a system that I use to claim real abundance that helps me market my books in earning attractive income online while I market my books. If you'd like to check further into that and find out more about me, you can click on the link in the description box of this YouTube video, jamesnussbaumer.com, at my Real Abundance page. And I've got a lot to share. Now maybe I can take this tie off after I've satisfied Mom. And hey everyone, I wish the best for you, and thanks to listening to me tonight. And I wish the best for you. Go after what it is you really want to do. You've got it in you. You know you do. Thank you.